Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The State Council discusses the Selective Goods Tax Draft Law. With the participation of 100 countries, the International Road Transport Union 2018 conference is to be hosted by the Sultanate in November. The Sultanate signs an agreement for unified government license for the Geographic Information System program. And the Sultanate and FAO signed 2 agreements to produce free-of-pest citrus and enhance guidance service system and agricultural support. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of condolences to His Highness Sheikh Saud bin Saqr Al Qasmi, United Arab Emirates Supreme Council member and ruler of Ras Al Khaimah, on the death of Sheikh Hamad bin Mohammed Al Qasmi. His Majesty the Sultan has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus on his country's National Day. The State Council discussed the Selective Goods Tax Draft Law forwarded from the Council of Ministers, as well as the reports of the Economic Committee and Shura Council on this matter. The session was headed by His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud Al-Mandari, Chairman of the State Council, who revealed that a joint session will be held between both the State and Shura Councils next Thursday to review the articles of the disagreement between the 2 councils about the Living Aquatic Resources Draft Law and Selective Goods Tax Draft Law, which came within the unified agreement of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. The Sultanate will start next year the implementation of the Selective Goods Tax Draft Law with hopes that it will enhance the non-oil revenues. The Sultanate, represented by the Ministry of Transport and Communications, will host the 32nd edition of the International Road Transport Union 2018 during the 6th till the 8th of November 2018. The major event will be organized by ASIAD. This came during a press conference held at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center today. The conference represents a platform for experts and decision makers to share expertise and highlight challenges, as well as reviewing future solutions relevant to land transport sector, trade and logistics. Selecting the Sultanate to host the IRU World Congress 2018 is a real translation of the progress being witnessed by the transport and logistics sector, infrastructure quality and its promising future in the Sultanate. The Sultanate, represented in the National Center for Statistics and Information, signed the agreement of unified government license for the Geographic Information System program with the Environmental Systems Research Institute, ESRI. The agreement came within the framework of enhancing the Sultanate's level and services provided in this field. The center clarified that the period of the agreement with the American company extends to 3 years, during which the government bodies and companies will acquire the necessary licenses for the Geographic Information System programs, as well as update the software to the latest available versions. It also provides a number of services in building the capabilities and skills of the employees and specialists in this field, in addition to technical consulting services. It will also support the small and medium-sized enterprises working in geographic information system field, as well as the educational institutions and job seekers in terms of direct training courses through the internet. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth signed 2 documents with Food and Agriculture Organization FAO, the first one for implementing developed research project for producing free-of-pests citrus, and the second one for implementing project of enhancing guidance, service system and agricultural support in the Sultanate. These agreements came within the framework of technical cooperation between the Sultanate and FAO in order to develop agricultural sector and exchange expertise in order to achieve sustainable strategy for the sector based on the vision of Oman 2020 in achieving sustainable development and food security in the Sultanate. Both agreements were signed by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Nasser Al-Bakri, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth for Agriculture, and from the FAO side by Her Excellency Nora Orabi, representative of FAO in the Sultanate. The International Atherosclerosis Society announced during its 18th symposium in Toronto that Oman will host IAS Symposium for the year 2024. The Omani delegation, represented by Oman Conference Office at the Ministry of Tourism, Oman Society of Lipid and Atherosclerosis, and Oman Center for Conventions and Exhibitions, participated in the IAS Symposium this year, which is an international medical specialist event that is organized every 3 years and attracts more than 2,500 specialists in atherosclerosis diseases around the world. The hosting of such international specialist event will be an important addition to the medical field and will contribute in boosting business tourism in Oman. Still to come in our news bulletin. A discovery of 53 million years old ancient elephant fossils is made near Aiden village in Dhofar. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Jordanian foreign minister said today he would hold talks with the Russian counterpart over the crisis in Syria. Speaking after holding a meeting with UN officials coordinating the aid effort into Syria, Ayman Safadi said that he would leave tomorrow to Moscow for the discussions. Russia backs a Syrian government offensive in the southern city of Daraa, which has displaced tens of thousands of Syrians and sent most of them toward the closed Jordanian border or the Israeli ones near Golan. Safadi said Amman has open channels with Damascus and Moscow, and the talks will focus on reaching a ceasefire as a priority and stop internal displacement of civilians. Jordan has maintained the closure of its border, insisting it can no longer endure more influx of refugees. Instead, Safadi said Jordan is delivering aid to the displaced and has deployed hospitals near the border. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres visited Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh today who have fled Myanmar to Bangladesh in the wake of violence since last August. Guterres said after visiting sprawling refugee camps in Bangladesh's Cox's Bazar district that the hundreds of thousands of Rohingya Muslims who have taken shelter there want justice and a safe return home. Some 700,000 Rohingya have crossed the border to escape violence by Myanmar security forces who have been accused of rape, killing, torture, and the burning of Rohingya homes. Already living in poor and crowded conditions, the refugees face further misery with the onset of the monsoon season, with a strong risk of landslides and flooding. Bangladesh and Myanmar have agreed to start repatriating some Rohingya, but there were concerns among aid workers and Rohingya that they would be forced to return and face unsafe conditions in Myanmar. Among the fans watching Croatia's World Cup game against Denmark in Nizhny Novgorod was Croatia's President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović. Earlier, wearing a Croatian team shirt, she strolled around the city's landmarks, including the promenade with its backdrop of the stadium where the game was played. Meanwhile, Croatia fans flooded the streets in the capital Zagreb to celebrate their team's victory against Denmark in the Football World Cup. Daniel Subasic saved 3 penalties to help Croatia reach the tournament's quarterfinals with a 3-2 shootout victory over Denmark following a 1-1 draw. Croatia captain Luka Modric, who also scored in the shootout, had a chance to put his team ahead late in injury time, but his penalty was saved by Denmark goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel. Croatia will next face host Russia in the quarterfinals on Saturday in Sochi. The Croatian President Grabar-Kitarović praised Russia's holding of the World Cup, and she had this to say.
Well, I have to say that I'm truly amazed at the way that Russia has been able to, on the one hand, control any potential violence on your stadiums, that everything has been so wonderful, so orderly so far, no incidents. And on the other hand, to hear from the football fans how easy it has been to travel through Russia with fan IDs instead of visas, etc. So we are all delighted that we're enjoying Russian hospitality, but also the way that you have organized the championship.
Thousands of Russian fans took over central Moscow to celebrate the historic victory of their national football team in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. World Cup host Russia will move forward to the World Cup quarterfinals after beating 2010 champion Spain on penalties in their round of 16 game. The game finished 1-1 after extra time, and goalkeeper Igor Akinfeev made two key saves to help Russia win the shootout 4-3. The win marks the team's best World Cup run since it was the Soviet Union in 1966. Now back to some more local news. A new remarkable archaeological discovery was made near Aiden village in the governorate of Dhofar as primitive elephant fossils dating back 53 million years was unearthed recently in the latest geological survey supported by the Ministry of Heritage and Culture. The discovered fossils contain a collection of bones and teeth for these ancient mammals and rodents. This was not the first time an archaeological discovery was made in Aden. Sea creature fossils like fossilized shells, urchins, oysters, and fossils of mammals living near the shallow seas like ancient elephants, giraffes, monkeys, turtles, crocodiles, and rhinoceros-like creature were discovered in the area before. Besides these discoveries, dinosaur fossils were also discovered near Khod village, belonging to 4 distinct dinosaur types. Among the discovered remains was fossils of the so-called duck-billed dinosaur Hardosaurus, which puzzled many scholars as this type of dinosaurs was thought to be restricted to the northern continents and their presence in this part of the world was unknown. As completion of development projects and housing schemes in the wilayas and the governorates of the Sultanate, the Ministry of Housing handed over 30 residential units to their beneficiaries at Al-Juba village in the wilaya of Mahout at the governorate of Al-Wusta. This project came within the development projects adopted by the Ministry of Housing for providing suitable residency places for citizens and provide living requirements. The value of these units reached more than 800,000 Omani riyals. For shedding light on the health condition and services and programs provided to citizens, the initiative of health indication through social media platforms inaugurated in the governorate of Al-Buraymi. The follow-up committee for health sector business in the governorate held the second meeting this year for discussing important challenges faced by health services in the governorate and find suitable solutions to uplift provided health services in the governorate. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Darwish bin Saif Al-Mharbi, Undersecretary of the Ministry of Health for Administrative and Financing Affairs. Oman oil price September 2018 delivery today reached $75.62. According to Dubai Mercantile Exchange, the price of Oman oil today rose 30 cents compared to the Friday's price. The average price of Oman oil July 2018 delivery reached $74.41, thus $6.10 per barrel higher than June delivery. The preparation of all bodies concerned to serve the Kharif season visitors in the Dhofar Governorate were the topics reviewed in a coordination meeting headed by His Excellency Sayyid Mohammed bin Sultan Al Busaidi, Minister of State and Governor of Dhofar. The meeting discussed ways of regulating traffic and checking the readiness of roads leading to the governorate, in addition to reviewing, paving and maintaining the roads leading to touristic sites which were damaged by the recent climatic conditions. It also discussed the preparedness of the health services and shelters in the governorate. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Partly cloudy to cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the governorate of Dhofar with chances of intermittent drizzle. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the coasts of the Arabian Sea and Sea of Oman. Winds will be southeasterly light to moderate, while seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1.5 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The State Council discusses the Selective Goods Tax Draft Law. With the participation of 100 countries, the International Road Transport Union 2018 conference is to be hosted by the Sultanate in November. The Sultanate signs an agreement for unified government license for the Geographic Information System program. And the Sultanate and FAO signed 2 agreements to produce free of pest citrus and enhance guidance service system and agricultural support. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.